Hello traders, good morning. Welcome to this video, an update on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency. Let's start with that pound USD. Pound breaking through the bear flag. We were talking on Monday about this particular fractal being key for the breakout to the downside and the break of the bear flag pattern after strong momentum. And we were looking for a break either below support or above resistance for push up or down. So we got the break to the downside. We actually broke this fractal. Any fractal at the 20 EMA is key. So we got a new fractal after that video, and a break through that level, basically kick-starting here a downside from 129 all the way down to 127 for 200 pip move so far. I think more downside is likely considering the strong momentum that is here, the flag pattern, and again the strong momentum, price pushing away from the 21 EMA like this. There's a fair chance we'll see price move towards lower targets for the moment at, for instance, the WIS9, 125.50, maybe the round level of 125. I think that is quite doable for this cable to push into that zone. So what is the next step? What I'm looking for, because price has moved away from the 21 EMA, which is good because it shows momentum, but it's not that good for trading purposes. Price can easily retrace back into the 20 EMA and bounce, for instance. So I'm looking for two things. Basically, one is the break below this fractal, okay, to confirm the downside. Probably a break below 127, maybe like 126, I don't know, 94 or 5. And then the target aiming at 125.50, and in that case, I don't expect price to go back into above 128.30. So I think personally, I would put my stop loss around 128, I don't know, 37 or something like that. So, but wide, but that, you know, is a 4-hour breakout. So there's still plenty of space down to 125.50 or 54 for potential, I guess, 140 pip potential pool of pips there. Alternatively, it could also bounce and go back into the 20 EMA zone, and I think there could be a reversal trade, or not a reversal trade, but a bearish continuation from this 20 EMA zone. Specifically, I think anywhere between, let's take a look at the hourly chart, anywhere really between 127.50 really and up to even as far as 128 30-ish, right? These fractals here. You know, with the pound, it's quite volatile, so it could make an ABC zigzag and go back into that. So I don't think, though, that it will trace deeper than this fractal. So I don't think that it will go up in, for instance, into 128, above 128.80, this retracement. If it does, then it would probably change my perspectives a little bit. I will be neutral rather than bearish on the pound USD. So if it does break above the 20 EMA, we might see this push up anywhere into 127.50 up to 128.30, but not more than 128.60. And anywhere where there's, you know, bearish bounce with candlestick patterns could indicate the end of that retracement and then a restart of that downtrend towards the 125.50, 125 target zone. That is about it, I think. Well, on the daily chart, we're getting quite some clear momentum. Overall, it's in a trend, but price is really pushing through this 143 man, the daily chart, and through these tops. So I think the momentum is really winning, and we have head and shoulders pattern here on the weekly and monthly, starting to show. Broke already last month's low already a while ago with head and shoulders here. So looking quite bearish, but doesn't have to continue right away. Let's see if we get the breakout or the retracement, and if it stays below that 128.30, 128.70 zone, as I suspect. All right, euro dollar also breaking through the dojis, the lows, the candle lows of those two dojis, and the lows of many candles before that, in fact, and starting to pick up momentum to the downside. Also broke below last month's low. And on the daily chart, we had a second break below the 20 EMA and failure to close above the 20 EMA. And that's why on Monday I was saying that this is at resistance and likely to make a bounce and retest the bottom. Not only did it retest the bottom, indeed, but it broke through that and is starting to gather some momentum to the downside. And there were good reasons here to expect a bounce, head and shoulders, divergence patterns, maybe a rising wedge pattern. in any case, that's behind us now. Price, I think at this moment, definitely still an uptrend, but momentum is down. Price is below the 20-day. That said, it's at support, potential support at least, 23.6 fib and the minus 272 target. So I suspect that some kind of bounce could take place here. And we might see price move into the previous resistance here at 117.50. And that could become resistance. The 20 EMA, the long-term moving averages, the previous bottoms basically, and this sideways zone all could act as resistance. So I think bounce at 117.50, 118 could make sense for a bounce if, wait for candlestick patterns in my view. Well, that's what I'm going to do and look for continuation lower. Down to WIS 7 at 115.89 or 115.90, where there's also a minus 61.8 target there. So that makes sense, I think. There could be an immediate breakout too. But that's not confirmed yet. We don't have any fractal and prices in a swing as we speak. So I don't know. There's momentum indicated by the pink diamond there. But I need a fractal for breakout, potential breakout there. If there is a fractal and it breaks through that fractal, then this is a pretty strong swing, as you can see. So it can go quite far. Let's take away this fib. And let's move it a little bit like this. And yeah, 115, 116, 115.80 is just maybe the first target. After that, it might even go further to 115, basically. So there's a potential for price to make a decent retracement here. 115, of course, also the 38.2 fib. So I suspect that we'll make a little bit of retracement and then fall down to 116, then a flag, and then down to 115 and the 38.2 fib, and that could be a bouncing spot. Something like that, I suspect, is the wave pattern. Maybe then at the end making a falling wedge and then finding support at that fib. Something like this is what I'm expecting. Up, down, sideways, down, bounce. So let's see if it makes that pattern. If it does find resistance at 117.50, 118, of course, obviously all of these ideas are subject to future price action, which I cannot discuss in this video, obviously. But yeah, obviously if price, for whatever reason, makes a strong upside, unexpectedly, I don't expect that, breaks the 20 EMA, then starts to make a bull flag, 21 EMA curls up like that, then it bounces at the 20 EMA, well, then obviously I'm going to change my, if it starts breaking that bull flag, then obviously I'm changing my perspective. And in that case, I will be thinking more like this is an ABC completed, and we're back in an uptrend, and price used the 23.6 fib as a bouncing spot. So I'm adding this. I don't think it's that likely, but obviously, of course, it depends on if price shows a very strong price swing, then obviously that would change perspectives and depending on the patterns as well. But at this moment, to me, it looks more likely to be bearish retracement, but the entire trend is still up, so those things can happen, and we got to be, I think, ready for that as traders in general for such such changes. All right, I guess that's it. That's my 2 cents. We'll be back next week, either on the weekend or Monday, with a new update on the euro dollar and pound dollar. And check out all of our other videos recently added about waves, but also about EAs. London Open Advanced EA is ready. Next, beginning of October, we'll have another EA coming up. And we also have, of course, Ultima EA and Zeus EA available. Ultima EA, of course, from Mislav Nikolic, and Zeus EA from us, and LOA EA from us. So check that out, or sign up to the webinars to get more info about that, automated trading systems, to be clear. That's it, and wish you good trading. Cheers.